What I'm going to do in this short video is show you how you can use Photoshop to manipulate an image. We're doing a task where we're going to create media items for a game, and so the first media item here, you'll see that we're going to create a clown, and we're actually going to use a photo of our own faces, and we're going to crop it and resize it, and then we're going to clownify it. So we're going to use Photoshop to add some features to make it look like a clown within Photoshop, so that we can then use that icon, that picture later on as the clown face in our Catch the Clown game. So we're going to need a photograph, and we're going to need to resize it to 32 by 32 because that's the size of the sprite, the little character that's going to run around in our game. I'm going to use my profile image from Edumate, so if you don't have a copy of a photo of your face from somewhere else, then you can also go to Edumate and just get a copy of your profile photo for a school in Edumate, and then we're going to crop it down and resize it to the right sizes. So what you'll need is Photoshop first of all, and then you'll need your image. So I saved mine already to the desktop. So here's my face loading in now into Photoshop. Okay, now you can see that's not a square at the moment, and it's got a lot of wasted space around the outside. Okay, and so what we want to do is actually end up with a square icon that we can use as our clown face in our game. So what I'm going to do first of all is choose the crop tool here, and I'm going to make this a square. Okay, you can see that you can actually change, so I've clicked on the crop tool over here on the left, then I'm going up to the properties and I'm saying I want 1 to 1, which means that I'll get a square, and then I can just move my image to the position I want it. Now you can resize as well, so if you want to adjust the size of your square, then you can drag that in a bit and then position your image centered. And so you want a nice tight square, not too tight, around your face. Okay, so, and that's going to become our character in the game. Okay, so I might actually move myself up a little bit, get a bit more of my chin in there, although I don't want too much shirt. So all of these are considerations you'll need to also take into account. When you're happy with it, you come up the top here to the toolbar and simply press the tick, and what that will do is commit those changes for your image. Okay, so pause me here, find your image, load it into Photoshop, use that crop tool and a square to crop your image. Now this is not 32 by 32 yet, so we're going to resize it later. Okay, so pause me here and get to that point. Once you've done that, hopefully you've pressed play again now. Now what we're going to do is take away some of the elements of this image. So you can see here at the moment there's a blue background, and I'm also wearing a shirt, and so we don't want those items in our image. So what we're going to do is come over here on the left and find our tools. You'll see when you hover over them, it gives you a description of what that tool is, and you'll see this tool, the lasso, and you can draw around. Underneath that, you'll see there's a tool called the Quick Selection tool. If this isn't showing for you, then you'll see there's a little arrow pointing out, and you'll see that you've either got the choice of a Quick Selection tool or a Magic Wand tool. Just by clicking on that little arrow, it'll show you other tools that are hidden underneath that icon. We're going to use the Quick Selection tool, so that's this one here. And you can adjust the size of your brush if it's too big, and I'm going to simply draw over my face, and you'll see that the Quick Selection tool has automatically selected the areas of the face that it thinks I want. You can see up here you can add sections by using the section add button, and you can also subtract sections. So if you select too much, then you can just use the select minus to get rid of something. You can see at the moment this has missed my ears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the size of my brush a little bit smaller, make sure I'm on the selection add tool, and then I'm going to draw over my ears to add those to my selection. And so I've now selected my face. Now we want to delete the parts that are not my face. So this is where it gets a bit tricky and you have to watch carefully. So I've selected my face. If I press delete now, my face will disappear. So what I've got to do is go up to the select menu and you'll see there's an option in here to inverse the selection. What that's going to do is, instead of selecting my face, it's going to select everything else, so not my face. So I'm going to go select inverse, and you'll see that I've now got the selection being the outside rather than my actual face. Then I simply come to my keyboard and I can press the delete key. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I get my keyboard and I press the Control X key, and you can see it's then going to delete those little sections there. Okay, and so now I'm left with just my face. Once you've got that selection done, I want you to save your progress. So what you're going to do is go to File and you're going to choose Save As, and instead of saving as a JPEG or whatever format it currently is saving in, I'd like you to scroll down in the list and find the one that says PNG. Okay, so we're going to use a PNG, and if we switch back to our job quickly, you'll see that we're going to call our face mug.png. So back in Photoshop, switch to PNG, call it mug.png, and then say save. Let's keep it as we'll go medium. You can keep it large, which is going to be a lot more quality, or small is going to be tiny, but we'll go to medium, and that's going to save that face as mug.png. Now you'll remember we've already put this in a square, so now what we can do is we can go to our image, and we're going to actually resize this. So if you come up to image and choose image size, you'll see at the moment it's measuring 175 pixels by 175. We want to drop that down, if we jump back to our notes, to 32 pixels by 32 pixels. So let's come in here and simply type 32. You'll see it knows that it's 32 by 32. Say OK, and now we've got our tiny little image there. Alright, so if you can get to that stage there, you can stop this video, and what we'll do is we'll actually then try to clownify this face. Okay.